Hello, I've created a reading quiz to give my students at the beginning of class. This quiz holds them accountable for reading last night, and it's also an informal assessment for me, the teacher, in order to check that students understand the nuts and bolts and bigger picture ideas in this selected reading. I will now complete the quiz and think aloud while I do it. First impression, this quiz is not intimidating at all. I put my name in to gain credit. I can start with easy questions here. Continue on to the next page. I have a helpful hint here to remind me what's in my memory about the reading. Now I actually have to remember the person's name. Now I have to give a little BCR. And I'll submit my answers. That was quick and easy, and I have a confirmation. And I'm allowed to change my answers if I want to. Now to the design side. This is a Google form saved to my Google Drive that I can pick out anytime I want. It shows a theme, much like a PowerPoint, and then I began editing questions. I start with the title, a subtitle, and I have them enter their name first. I can choose a variety of questions and design them how I see fit. In order to make a question, I'll go to Add Item, and I can choose what kind of question. In this quiz, I've chosen text, paragraph text, and multiple choice. I want to add another question to the first page. Multiple choice style. And add a hint. Choose the style. Start with multiple choice. Depending on the answer, I can shift where the student goes after the answer question, either onto the next page or the page again to remind them to redo the question. Enter options. For each question, I can require that it is answered so that they cannot complete the form without completing all the questions. At any point, I can edit any changes or any questions. The buttons are in the up right corner of each one as I cycle through them. I can also copy questions. I can divide the test into multiple parts in order to shift focus on different parts of the reading. Text answers offer single words, paragraph styles offer brief constructed responses. I end with a confirmation page to thank them, to explicitly tell them that the quiz is over, and I can choose options for how they proceed afterwards. I've chosen to allow them to edit the responses if I'm using this informally and not grading it. When I go to send the form, I have two options. I can post a link, or I can send it embedded in an email in which students can answer from their email. The collection side has all the information entered into another Google item, which is a Google Sheet. The reason I have them start with their last and first name in the quiz, so it's listed in the far left corner. After this, though, I can switch around orders. If I'm informally checking that the students have done their reading, and I also want to make sure everyone's on the same page before we begin an activity or start a discussion, I need to make sure that everyone has the same knowledge. So if there's a lot of variability in these closed questions, then I know I can't move on with my lesson until I fill in those gaps of knowledge. And all this information is updated instantly. So doing this at the beginning of a class, if everyone had a 1-to-1 ratio of student to technology, then I could quickly assess my students' knowledge. Some weaknesses of this program happen in brief constructed responses being entered into this Excel sheet as long continuous lines. Another weakness is the limitability of the type of questions or authentic activities students can get out of the simple survey.